I was finding myself, but I was lost in Dublin, working as a software engineer. Programming software for companies like Microsoft, IBM, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the buzz. I enjoyed the nightlife. I enjoyed the kind of lifestyle it was. But really, it was soulless for me. And after doing it many, many years, I decided once I met my now wife, I left a very lucrative job, travelled to Australia and South America. And it was during that year that I started to listen to myself and started to hear a voice inside that was a little familiar. So big change for me happened around this was when I was in Australia, travelling in Western Australia. I was in a semi-desert called the Nullarbor Plain. We drove around Australia, and when we got to there, we spent a week in the desert, just living in the desert, making some food, supplies we bought, and looking under those southern skies at night, surrounded by nature, no sounds, no noises, except for animals. I started to hear part of me that hadn't been alive for a very long time, part of me that loves nature, real deep connection, because when I was young, I grew up surrounded by nature. So I started to remember who I was. I started to remember that little boy inside, and how I used to walk with my dog for hours and hours every day after school. So we returned to Dublin, and I researched universities or colleges that studied plant medicine. And I found one place. And within a couple of weeks, I enrolled in a course for 4 years. Knew I had to pay for the course, so I went back and done my job as an engineer, but I was studying herbal medicine and naturopathic medicine as well. Palo Santo, South American Amazonian tree, used in ceremony to clean space and clear kind of old dead energies. Naturopathic is a kind of philosophy of holistic medicine, you know, how to treat a person, not their disease. So herbal medicine, plant medicine, that's the start of the journey really. That's when I started to bring this part of me alive again, and I had a lot of fear, a lot of apprehension, a lot of doubts, and I kept doing it. And by the end of my job, my engineering contracts, my whole office was covered in plant medicine. And I got called many names, witch doctor, weirdo, really strange person who sells cannabis or whatever, you know. But I didn't care. I really didn't care, because I just loved reconnecting with the plants and nature and with people. People used to come to my office, not to talk about the work I was doing as an engineer, but to talk about their illnesses, their problems. I think I was given consultations before I even finished my course in herbal medicine. After that, when I qualified, I got a job in a health food store and started doing the work. Started working consultation. And after a few years, started teaching again in the college that I was, because I was so passionate, I loved it. I was able to teach it, get up in front of loads of people and speak about it, inspire them the way I was inspired.